Hi, Abby. Kim Hart here this evening, and I just wanted to let you know how much I enjoyed your discussion post about confidentiality and privileged information. I thought you did a great job explaining how you would communicate to your clients the process of informed consent and going over what confidentiality means in both your roles regarding the client's responsibility as well as the counselor's responsibility. But one of the things I found most interesting that you discussed was counseling minors. And I hadn't really considered that. I guess as I'm going through this process, I had really just kind of thought about counseling adults on the mental health track, and I hadn't thought about all the different ramifications of counseling minors, getting consent from their parents. What do the minors tell you that's confidential? What are their parents allowed to know? So I was really I was glad that you touched on that, and you did a wonderful job explaining it because it's complicated. In the article I discussed by authors Glossop, Hurley, and Spence in 2000, they did touch on the complications that counselors have having to weigh and balance directly and indirectly all the different state codes, which vary from state to state, and then how it affects counselors' ethical and legal obligations, not only to themselves, but to their clients as well. And I appreciated that you went into such depth regarding Ohio's state codes. And I'm finding it interesting as I look at other people's discussion boards, the differences, they're not vastly different, but they do have different nuances from state to state. And I realize that that's an interesting aspect of learning about confidentiality and privileged communication, the different codes that we have. And I noticed that Texas state codes are a little different than Ohio and New York's. And I thought it was interesting how you mentioned that some things are sealed, and I found it fascinating. So thank you for going into such detail about that. But overall, I found your discussion very informative and helpful, and I thought you did a great job.